Hello there and good morning. Any further strike action at the DVLA will be a main driver of an upcoming winter of discontent. As per usual, please like, subscribe and comment below. And when subscribing, please do press that little bell, but also select the all option, or you won't get any notifications when I publish a new video. The stories of shortages and coming shortages just keep building up. Coming to a town near you very soon will be empty shelves, not Brexit related. Petrol and diesel rationing, not Brexit related. Coupled together with tax rises, pandemic related. Gas price rises, Putin and green energy related, and even higher credit card repayment costs due to rising inflation as shortages cause price rises and interest rate increases. The only upside seems to be that savers might get a better return on their investments as interest rates go up. And the cold weather is coming, so we face a winter of discontent along the lines of that seen in 1978 to 1979. The economy and life in general is about to get very ugly, says the Telegraph. And it reports that ministers are gearing up for a collision of a winter of discontent. And as ever, the shortage of HGV drivers features in most articles I read on this. And instantly and totally predictably, the lazy Ramonas point hysterically at Brexit, when the rest of us know that there is a massive shortage of lorry drivers across Europe, if not wider. But more on that in a minute, so stay tuned. But it seems that the Driver and Vehicle Licensing Agency, the DVLA, is one big bottleneck at the moment. DVLA staff have been engaged in industrial action since March, their beef being that the COVID safety arrangements in their Swansea base aren't up to scratch. Cases are rising there. And this has gummed up the works. Industrial action is of course designed to do that, until they get their way. The government simply says, ongoing industrial action will directly affect DVLA services. There will be delays in processing paper applications. Please do not phone to chase up your application during this time, as we are dealing with all paper applications as quickly as possible and in the order in which they are received. But with reports that DVLA staff are only working a 2-day week, the backlog can only get bigger. Back in June, civilserviceworld.com reported that the PCS union claims 800,000 documents are still to be processed and backlog grows by tens of thousands a day. And this isn't just HGV drivers, of course. Everyone who has just passed their test or needs a 10-year car driver renewal licence could be affected. And heaven help you if you've just sent in a vital document such as your passport and you need to travel. That's now in a big black hole. You may not see it for months. And the DVLA strike action shows no sign of being lifted, with the PCS union saying just yesterday that the Communication Workers Union has just sent in 5,000 quid in solidarity with the DVLA strike, taking their hardship fund to over 50,000 quid. Now, some people have had to wait up to 5 months to get their licence and get their documents back. The latest on the Gov website, which is updated weekly, says they are now working on paper applications for driving licence renewals with a new photograph that they received on the 6th of July. Other services can be a lot faster though. DVLA says use their online service as it's working as normal and without delay. Their words, not mine. But as far as I can see, if you want a provisional HGV licence, you have to ask DVLA to send you a form to fill in. The good news is that for things like licence renewals, in certain circumstances, you can continue to drive even if your old licence has lapsed and you're waiting for your new one. But check it out first. Now, there is another component to all of this. But before I get into that, as well as the Brexit angle, I just want to say a massive thank you to all my Super Thanks, Patreon and PayPal supporters, as well as those that do buy a mug with my mug on it. Links in the descriptions box below. And I do usually publish 2 videos a day. Now, another part of this issue is HGV driver medical screening. According to ShropshireLive.com, the number of HGV drivers who fail medicals and have their licences refused or revoked is fast increasing. The figures show that in 2005, a total of 4,583 drivers had their licence refused or revoked, and by 2018 this number had increased to 12,242. This might be down to an ageing driver demographic though. Now, those assessments were suspended during the pandemic up until January this year, so they're back in force. Drivers have to get the test from a doctor before they can get their first licence, and every 5 years when they renew their HGV licence, or annually if they're over 65. But the doctor does not make the decision. No. All their tests go to the DVLA, where the decision is actually made to OK a licence or not. So not only are the medical tests held up in the bottleneck, the DVLA seems to be failing more drivers as well. But this HGV driver problem has been coming up on us for years. Yes, years. Back in February 2016, you know, months prior to the Brexit vote in June of that year, ReturnLoads.net conducted an HGV driver survey, and it concluded from the survey that, in contrast to what is generally perceived as the factors contributing to the driver shortage, the drivers have highlighted the poor wages, poor facilities, and the way that they are treated as the top 3 factors. And it quoted ONS figures saying back then that 80,000 fully qualified HGV drivers were choosing to work in other professions. This, coupled with results from this survey, shows that perhaps there is not a shortage of drivers, but just a shortage of appealing work. And today, the Road Haulage Association says we need between 75 and 100,000 extra lorry drivers. And back in the same year, 2016, roadstars.mercedes-benztrucks.com said, the Freight Transport Association and the Road Haulage Association issued a joint statement last year, that'd be 2015, saying the industry is short by about 45,000 drivers, and another 40,000 are likely to leave by 2017. So, any claim that the HGV driver shortage is all down to Brexit is total crap. And if we were to open our roads up to foreign drivers again, there's no guarantee they'd come. Because there's also a shortage of HGV drivers across Europe. The pay would need to be much higher here to get them to come over. The best solution for the UK is better pay and conditions to keep drivers in the industry and attract new blood. And we also need to sort out the DVLA problem to ungum the licence procedures. But is it too late for Boris and his Tories to save themselves from a winter of discontent? And more importantly, is it too late to save Christmas? So what's your opinion on an upcoming winter of discontent? Please like and comment below.